Yo, it's Issues, Coach Ish, whatever you want to call me. Back again for another one. Let's talk some boxing. All right, so we got another good fight coming up in Jermell, Charlo, and Canelo Alvarez. And I waited. I told myself I was gonna wait till the press conference. Once the press conference happens, then it's official. Um, because I've been so frustrated with Canelo for so long for not fighting dudes like the Charlos, right? I find it interesting that he's fighting Jermell instead of Jermall, and Jermall is the bigger one. I find that interesting, but whatever. We I've always maintained for a while. You know what I mean? Like I ain't interested in no Canelo fight unless he's fighting one of the Charlos, unless he's fighting Demetrius Andrade, or unless he's fighting David Benavidez. So those were the names that I was like, look, I don't care nothing about no Canelo fight unless it's one of those names. So we got one of those names in Charlo. I'm very excited about it. Um, so my breakdown of the fight is this. This is how Canelo Alvarez. Let's talk about Canelo Alvarez for a second. Canelo Alvarez is he's a great fighter, especially for this generation. He's a great fighter. Um, he's a really good boxer in his own way, and kind of like the Mexican style, a little bit reminiscent of, well, he wasn't Mexican, but Roberto Duran. You know what I'm saying? As far as very underrated slickness and defense, because it's overshadowed by the knockouts. Roberto Duran, was a more devastating puncher, but Canelo Alvarez, I've always said, had the best combinations in the game. His combination punches, his finish, especially his finishing combinations. He's nice. He's nice with it. Um, versus Jermell Charlo. Strong, athletic, explosive, um, and he's had problems with boxers. He had problems with Castano the first time. He had problems with Austin Trout. He lost to Tony Harrison. Came back and got the knockout. But he lost to Tony Harrison. These are all dudes who are more known for their boxing than, let's say, their power or their explosiveness or whatever. And Canelo is a higher level boxer than all of them. Canelo could outbox everybody that I just named. Just boxing ability alone. He could outbox all the people that I just named, regardless of the punching power. Um, Canelo has also had problems with boxers, right? Better boxers. I thought Billy Joe Saunders was a better boxer. He just didn't have the power. I thought Caleb Plant showed better boxing. He just didn't have the gas tank and the power. Really what it comes down to, and this is what makes this fight interesting, because what Charlo has something that the rest of them didn't have. He has enough power to keep Canelo honest. He has enough power to really reveal where Canelo is, right? Like, we'll find out in this fight if Canelo has lost a step. People have been saying Canelo's lost a step, this, that. We'll find out in this fight, because it'll bring everything out of you. When you getting hit by somebody who can crack, it bring everything out of you. If you get hit by somebody and you don't respect their power, which has been the case for Canelo's last string of fights. Plant was that situation. Ryder was that situation. Even though Ryder, yeah, whatever. Gennady, not Gennady Golovkin. Gennady Golovkin is in a different category. But Billy Joe Saunders was in that situation. Famously, Amir Khan was in that situation. Superior boxing, but don't have the power to keep him off you. Charlo has the power to keep Canelo off of him. He does. So it's going to come down to whether Charlo's if Charlo's power going to be enough to overcome Canelo's boxing. Because at the end of Canelo's boxing is usually a stoppage. It's usually some devastating combinations, punctuated by some real hard finishing shots. He got some good finishing shots, right? So Canelo, he breaks you down after a while. Makes you miss, make you pay. Charlo, he overwhelms you. With his speed, with his athleticism, explosiveness, and his power. It's interesting that Charlo is going up in weight. I don't know if that really. I'm not gonna. I don't think that factors in a whole lot. I could be wrong. We'll see. I don't think that factors in a whole lot. Charlo's a big boy. Once he fill out, I believe he's gonna be bigger than Canelo. You know what I'm saying? The weight may be whatever, but he'll definitely be taller. You know what I'm saying? Taller, longer, and just about the same size or same weight. You know what I mean? But I got dudes in the gym who are my same weight. You know what I mean? That I'm bigger than. So I think Charlo is the weight is going to be all right. I mean, I'm not sure how much he spars with his brother, but I know he spars dudes Canelo size all the time. So, similar to Terrence Crawford. I mean, at that weight, middleweight, it going up 2 or 3 weight classes in the lighter weights means more than going up 2 or 3 weight classes welterweight and beyond. Once you, especially like super welterweight, 154 and beyond, unless you somebody like a Terrence Crawford who's coming from lightweight going all the way up to super welterweight. But if you're naturally anywhere around welterweight, super welterweight, starting out, going up to super middleweight is not that big of a deal. A lot of them dudes walk around at super middleweight anyway, super middleweight, light heavyweight anyway. Jermell Charlo probably walks around at a light heavyweight. You know what I'm saying? As a light heavyweight, so or super middleweight at most. So I think he'll be fine as far as that goes. I think this fight is just going to come down to styles, which style is going to dominate, and who is going to be in the right headspace. I know recently Jermell, the Charlos, both of them, but Jermell has not been in the right headspace. We'll see if that plays a part. I have to factor that in though, because boxing is mostly mental. Again, Charlo has had problems historically with boxers. I consider Canelo more of a boxer than Charlo. And Canelo's had problems with boxers, or people who are better boxers than him. And so I don't consider Charlo a better boxer. But I do think Charlo has attributes that could expose maybe Canelo losing a step. You know what I'm saying? Getting older or whatever the case may be. Or just keep him at bay. Keep him at bay. Keep him from dictating the fight. Because that's what Canelo usually does. He dictates the fight, you know what I'm saying? And then eventually he gets you out of there. He dictates the fight, stalk you, press you, keeps coming. You know what I'm saying? He's really good at standing in front of you, making you miss, and then countering. So, but if Charlo can, keep him destabilized with his movement and keep landing those real hard shots coming off the stick, coming off the jab, he could beat him. So it's a beatable, it's a winnable fight for Jermell Charlo. I think, you know, people were saying like, yo, Canelo gonna smoke him and this and that. I don't think he's gonna smoke him. If I had to bet my money right now, if I had to bet everything on it, I would pick Canelo to win. I pick Canelo to win. I think Canelo would just figure out a way to edge out Jermell Charlo. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he'll stop him, because Jermell Charlo got a chin. He's durable. He got a chin. So I don't think he'll stop him, but I think he'll do enough in the late rounds to edge out a victory. And plus, you know, Canelo is Canelo. So I think, you know, Canelo's popularity would play a role in it. You know what I'm saying? Could play a role in it. If it's too close, they'll still give it to Canelo because of his popularity. But I honestly think Canelo would beat him. I think he'll do enough in the later rounds to beat him. I'll be shocked if Charlo beats Canelo by decision. I'll be shocked. I will be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked if Charlo stops Canelo, though. I wouldn't be shocked at that. I wouldn't be shocked at that. And I definitely wouldn't be shocked if Canelo stops Charlo. I wouldn't be shocked at that either. I'll be surprised. I'll be pleasantly surprised, but I wouldn't be shocked, right? So at the end of it all, I got Canelo winning by decision or very late round stoppage. I think the fight will be close. I think it'll be a good fight. And, you know, and then it'll come down to the trainers, too. We'll see if Derek James can put together the right string of game plans. Because that's going to also, you know, expose some things, too. You know what I'm saying? Like, Anthony Joshua didn't really look good against Robert Helenius. Well, he didn't look as good as expected. He looked good, of course. He got the knockout, so he looked good. But he didn't look as good as expected, right? A lot of people think he took too long to get Robert Helenius out of there. Of course, we all know what happened with Errol Spence. Couldn't formulate, couldn't make the right adjustments against Terrence Crawford. And so now here's another test. You know, Derek James actually under fire right now, because here's another test to see if he could get Charlo to make the necessary adjustments to Canelo's adjustments. Eddie Reynoso is a really good trainer. And Saul Canelo Alvarez is a really good fighter because of it. Even though I'm not the biggest Canelo fan, because I feel like he been ducking the smoke from a lot of people. But this fight is a redemption fight as far as that's concerned. Because, like I said, one of the names that I've been calling out for a while that I want to see Canelo fight, he's fighting. So I ain't got nothing to say as far as that's concerned. But we'll see what happens. I'm excited for this fight. Tell me what you think about it in the comments. Like the video, share the video. Let's talk about it. All right? Peace and love.